Let's make one of the cute little ducks from my Great British Crochet Off memory match game. Mine will feature this little heart on the bottom, but this can obviously be excluded if you're making these for keychains or anything else you need an adorable little duck for. For row 1, we are going to start off with a magic circle and put 6 single crochet into it. For row 2, we are going to increase every single stitch, which will bring us up to 12 stitches. So that's putting 2 stitches into every single stitch. For row 3, we are going to increase every other stitch. So we're going to do a single crochet and then an increase and then a single crochet and then an increase for a total of 18 stitches. Rows 4 through 8 are just going to be single crochet, no increases or decreases. For row 9, you are going to do 4 single crochet and then a decrease, and you're going to repeat that 2 times for a total of 3 times. Row 10 will be 5 single crochet and then a decrease, and then 6 single crochet and then a decrease. Row 11 is a row of just single crochet. For row 12, you're going to do 2 single crochet, chain 5, you're going to be kind of creating your back here, and then single crochet back down this chain, so that's going to be 4 stitches into the chain. And then to close up this hole, you're going to single crochet back into the stitch that you chained off of, and then you are going to do 3 single crochet and increase. Repeat that again, 3 single crochet and increase. And then we're going to fudge our numbers a little bit. You're going to do 3 more single crochet, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm at my stitch marker line right here. I'm going to put an increase into this row. This will be my third, 3 single crochet and increase here. And then I'm going to turn, so basically I'm going to extend this row. So I'm going to turn my stitch marker over here, and this is where I'm going to start my next row. And for this next row, we are going to put in a single crochet, and then we are going to work our way up this chain. So this was the first stitch in the actual chain. So we're going to go 1, we're going to do 2 here, the next chain, you're going to put in a third one right here, and then at the very top of that chain you're actually going to do an increase. So that was my third. I'm at the top of my chain, and you can see the last loop of my chain, and I'm going to put an increase in there. And then for the rest of my row, I am going to repeat the pattern of 4 single crochet and an increase, and that will take you to the end of your row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, and repeat that last part all the way around. And your next row is going to be a row of single crochet. And then you are going to do an increase, 5 single crochet, and increase, 5 more single crochet, and 1 final increase, and then you're going to do 17 more stitches to finish out your row. Rows 16 through 18 are going to be just single crochet. For row 19, you're going to do 9 single crochet and then a decrease, and repeat that all the way around. Your next row, you're going to do 3 single crochet and then a decrease, and repeat that all the way around. And your last row for the body of the duck is just going to be a row of single crochet. The next thing you're going to make is this little disc for the bottom, and it's purposefully made oversized so it can kind of sit tucked up into the duck so it can sit flat, and your memory piece can sit hidden. And the trick with this one is you are going to be working around the chain for this pattern up here. So you do your initial chaining on, and then you're going to do your 2 single crochet and then your increase of 3, so that means you put 3 stitches into the same stitch. And then rather than turning and working that way, you're going to turn and work over your knot into the other side of the chain. Put those 2 single crochet, and then your increase in the last chain of this round, and continue to work that oval around like that. And if you're looking for this heart pattern to sew into the bottom for the memory game, you can find that as a separate tutorial on my page. So the last thing you're going to make is the wing. So you're just going to crochet this little circle here, and then you're going to fold it over and single crochet it closed by single crocheting through each side. And you're going to get 2 little half circles that look like this. I like to leave myself a nice long tail so I can use it to sew it onto my duckling. So last we're going to assemble, so I like to start with my eyes. I like to put them between rows 6 and 7, so I count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I find a spot just off center from the front around here, and I'm going to put my safety eye in, or you can embroider them on. And then with 3 stitches spacing, you're going to put your second eye in and then put your backs on. And then you're going to crochet your beak right into there. So into this row right below the eyes, you are going to stick your hook in, and you are going to, into the bars themselves, you are going to put in 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And then single crochet back across those 3 stitches and tie your beak behind inside the duck's head. Next, sew your wings on the sides. I like to attach them with just a few stitches so they can still kind of flap free here. And then you're going to stuff it and sew your little oval into the bottom here to close it up. And there you have one cute little duck. For more information about the memory game that I made these for, you can check out the other videos on my playlist.